What's up, everybody? So this is day 43. So this is the day that I break my fast. I'm going to be breaking my fast with grapes. This is the first solid food that I will have swallowed. I have chewed some stuff and spit it out, but I'm gonna actually swallow these. So I'm super excited, and here it goes. I mean, that's amazing. Of course, grapes are amazing whether you're fasting or not. But to be entirely honest, I'm not going to sit here and like do one of those faces for you. I know what food tastes like. I've been eating for the entire time I've been alive. Okay, part of doing a fast is breaking that addiction to food and that dopamine we response that we get from it. I was just stopping my Instagram story. I just wanted to capture that on both platforms here. Let me have another one. That's actually, wow. I mean, that's pretty good. These are organic grapes. They're good quality grapes. I showed you guys on the thumbnail. I did rinse them off. Even if your food is organic, you're going to want to, take extra precautions and rinse them off. I mean, but these are amazing. So just to recap the results that I got, I lost like 25 pounds. As of today, the lowest I weighed was today, which was 176.7. When I started, I was 202 point something. So yeah, super happy, super proud of myself. And I eliminated so much gunk that has been stuck and stored inside my digestive tract that it's just kind of astounding. I'm wondering how much of that weight loss was just from like glycogen in my liver and my muscles, from water weight, although my hydration levels actually improved throughout this fast. And then how much of that 25 pounds that I lost was actually the matter that was stuck in here. And I took pictures every single time. So I have the photographic evidence for you guys to show you that it's not a myth. And more than just your typical mucoid plaque looking, brown, stringy, accordion, disgusting looking, snaky thing came out too. Mucus came out, like, just who knows what sort of sludge came out. My liver was purging, pancreas, kidneys. What would a really fun afternoon look like for you? Say you've already worked out, taking care of any responsibilities you need for the day, and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What next? I love that question. Reed Clausen, what's up? Red Jared, what's up? I love that question. The comment or say hi. Thank you guys for being here. If you like this, just give it a like, give it a subscribe if you don't mind. It's helping me grow this growing channel, but I'd probably be doing something like this once, and that is my typical schedule, just to let you guys know. I usually get the workout done during the beginning part of the day. I eat very light throughout the day, and I'm just snacking on mono fruits. Okay, anybody can really do that. And we need to break kind of like this 3 meals a day, heavy breakfast, lighter lunch, lighter dinner type of thing. Actually, no. What I like to do is I like to eat light mono fruits throughout the day. And I don't know if you guys heard my teams pinging over there. I work remotely, which is pretty cool. So I'm just chilling at my apartment. I'm having some grapes as a snack. I'm eating a melon of some kind. Eating some pears, some grapefruits, oranges, bananas, whatever. Depending on what my workout is. If I do a really hard workout, then I'm going to be eating like something heavier like bananas. Thank you, Eliza. Thank you so much. Thank you, commenter. Thank you so much, you guys. Whatever you want to see, whatever you want to hear from me, just comment below, and I'm delivering whatever you guys want, whatever you want to hear me talk about. I've been, in this sort of like healthy lifestyle realm for over almost 2.5 decades, for 23 years, since I lost 100 pounds in high school. and I've kept it off that whole time. But throughout that time, I've tried just about every diet. I've tried just about every workout that you can imagine. I'm a certified personal trainer, yoga instructor, and I've kind of come full circle at this point in my life back to where it all started for me, my origin story, which is the food. And if we can just get that piece right and start eliminating some of the trash out of our diet and eat whole foods, especially like raw fruits that are really rich in water, vitamins, nutrients, antioxidants, that help your body stay alkaline, help your body stay out of inflammation, and stay very, very clean and very healthy, then all the other stuff, like, even if it's not like, if you're struggling with something else, whether it's like a mental or emotional thing, all that stuff, I BS you not. I was Mr. Depression, Mr. Self-saboteur. I had all that going on, and all that stuff just kind of, it gets replaced by this sense of gratitude and this sense of reverence and being grateful, thankful just to walk this path and to be in this body and be who we are, but also not being like lulled into these moments of like temporary pleasure that lead to longer lasting pain. Learning to just find joy in the everyday, like the taste of this grape. There's a lot of people out there who would be like, oh, a grape? That's not exciting at all. But for me, it honestly doesn't get better from eating a good quality grape. Life doesn't get much better than that. Marley and Bo. What's up, Marley and Bo? Shout out to you. Yes, yes, yes. Let me cook. Do you like onion with cucumber and hair? Okay, I'm not sure if that's a typo. And by the way, like, I have a sense of humor. If these are like funny comments or whatever, I'm just going to take them as they're kind of serious or whatever, just in case it's a typo. Any sort of spamming and whatever, like, do whatever you want. It's just kind of like, it is what it is. But as far as like, okay, Ramon, thank you. What's up, man? What's your question? But onions and garlic. In yoga, they say that onions and garlic, it's something that they don't really typically eat, at least like the priest class. It's called the sattvic foods. That's the foods that they eat that are the most high vibe, which just happen to be mostly fruits and vegetables. They have a couple other things in there that I don't entirely agree with, but garlic and onion are something that make you kind of amp you up, or make you more prone to like anger, more prone to being overly violent or overly sexual. So also I've noticed that when my body's really clean and I haven't had onion or garlic in a long time, and like I literally have no body odor, like with no deodorant or anything like that, and then I have something with onions in it, I can literally smell the onions the next day in my armpit. So imagine what somebody who's always eating onions, if they didn't have deodorant, what they must smell like. And God bless deodorant. I'm all for it, but that's also a chemical that we're putting into this very porous and vulnerable area of our body. And our skin is porous. We absorb stuff through our skin. So you got to be careful about some of these products you're putting on your skin, putting on your face. I don't even use shampoo anymore. I wash my hair in the Gulf. I'm lucky enough to live near the beach. How much can I deadlift? My one rep max was 405, which is 4 plates on both sides. But I don't use straps. Those wrist straps? I use my own natural grip. But now I don't really go for max anymore. I go for form and more volume. And I usually top off at 315, which is 3 plates on either side. If you can change anything about the world, what would you change about it? If I could change anything about the world, that is a great question. The main thing that I would change about the world is I would bring truth into the world, because our entire 2025, and that started at year 0. Everything about our past is basically a lie, in my opinion. I know that's a big pill to swallow. That's something that really kind of was a shocker to me. But the nature of our existence is built upon so many lies that it's keeping us from knowing who we really are inside. And once you swallow that and realize how sickening and how big the lie actually is, it actually frees you. And that's one of the things that led me to the best health in my life. I'm 39 years old. I'm in the best shape of my life. I have more energy, and I'm also not carrying around a chip on my shoulder. I'm also not quick to anger. But when I do need to have a confrontation with somebody and tell them how I feel, I have no fear whatsoever to let the chips fall as they may. This is how I feel, and like it or love it, take it or leave it. And if they leave it, then I'm like, sayonara. The universe will bring me something that suits me better. I'm 6 foot tall, but sometimes people, like sometimes I might be 6'1". I don't know. Like I'm like just over 6. But yeah, some people say I look short on camera. Some people say I look tall. I probably look taller now because I'm a little bit slimmer. And I will tell you that since this is my second juice fast that I've done, this one was 6 weeks. The first one that I did was just over 3 weeks. It was 23 days. And thank you guys for all the questions and the likes. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Any questions? I got you. I've helped thousands of students when I was a trainer and yoga instructor, and now I'm doing it online. Is that I can tell you that this time around, now that I'm eating again and I'm going to, adjust my diet, I'm going to eat a lot less fats. We don't need the omega-3s. That's kind of one of those myths that I was alluding to. Like, oh, eat your omega-3s, your fish oils, your flax, and all that other stuff. We actually don't need that. Our body synthesizes it from any sort of fat. So isn't that wild? So the fat that you eat, when you look at nature, what's abundant is actually carbs, carbohydrates. And carbohydrates is a word that's based on the molecular structure of a carbohydrate or a sugar, which is a carbon structure. Isn't that interesting? Fats are made of fatty acids. Isn't that crazy? Exactly. Proteins are made of amino acids, which are acids. Wow. So you got acids on one side, which are corrosive to our body, and then you've got carbs or carbon on the other side, which are healing and helpful and alkaline to our body. We are designed to eat carbs, guys. Okay? Yeah, we can have proteins and fats, but for example, in human breast milk, it's mostly carbs, and it's a couple percent fat and a couple percent protein. But guess what the composition of fruits are? It's mostly carbs and water, and a couple percent fat and a couple percent protein. Because inside every living cell, the cell walls, the nucleus, these are made of fats and proteins. We get enough just from fruits and vegetables, believe it or not. And if you want to be lean, as somebody who I used to weigh 300 pounds, and even at 176, I still have this little flap of skin. I've had that my whole entire life since I lost 100 pounds, right? I'm not going to get it like surgically treated or liposuction or whatever. When I gain a little bit more muscle mass and when my muscles fill up a little bit more, it kind of gets stretched out and is barely noticeable. Right now, it's pretty noticeable. So I'm not somebody who's like super shredded and lean naturally. But what I am gifted at is I can drink only juice for 6 weeks and still have like decent muscle because I'm a bigger body type person. I'm more of an endomorphic body type. So we all have our strengths and weaknesses, guys. So I found it, I hate saying this out loud, but I'm someone who's prone to being larger rather than leaner. Okay? The less fat that we eat, the healthier we are. We have better digestion. We have faster bowel transit time. And the faster that the faster your bowel transit time, the less time that food sits inside you to rot and toxify. The number one underlying cause of all health issues is toxicity. And the vast majority of all the toxicity is coming from the inside out. It's from that old waste matter that gets stuck in your digestive tract because we're eating stuff that we're not designed to eat. Human beings, like I said, we're designed to eat foods that are mostly carbs, a little bit of fat, a little bit of protein. I've got some cool emojis down there. I know, right? I know. Yes, 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 Marley and Bo. I hear you. I hear you. It's true. No, it's cool. It's cool. Am I cut or uncut? I think I know what you're saying, but let me pretend like I don't. I'm definitely cut, unfortunately. I don't think that that is a good thing, a good practice to be doing. Apparently there are nerve endings and all sorts of stuff that affect your pair bonding, chemical, and all that other stuff, oxytocin. I don't know if any of that is true. So, but any sort of procedure like that, I mean, I even have my ears pierced. Well, I used to have kind of like those gauges. I kind of even regret that, you know? And no shade on anybody who has piercings, who has tattoos, who's been cut or whatever, or you've had, let's say you did have some skin removed, okay? But our body is actually designed as a symbiotic unit. And unit is a word that means one. Uno. Un. Unit. That means one. So we are a holistic being. That means we have connections, nerve connections, and especially fascia connections from any 2 points on our body. Here's connected to here. Here's connected to here. Here's connected to here. Here's connected to here. Okay, the more that we manipulate that and impede that energy flow, the more that it's, in my opinion, dampening that holism of our being. I know, right? Oh my gosh, we're getting kind of spicy down there. Let me have a grape. More questions, guys, more questions. But this is the first food I've eaten. And one of the Taoist ways of eating, you know, when you look at, like, we talked earlier about the yogic diet. Now I'm learning about the Taoist diet. We have the alkaline diet, the raw food diet, natural hygiene, fasting. We have the blue zone diet. We have the anti-inflammatory diet. I'm probably missing a couple, but they're all the same, guys. It's just fruits and vegetables. Minimal animal products, minimal starches. So when I say vegetables, I'm not really meaning like potatoes and rice or grains. Starches are glue, and they stick to you on the inside, creating that waste matter, which leads to toxicity, rotting, putrefaction, rancidification inside your body that pollutes you from the inside out. I'm 40 years old almost, so I've had a lot of time, even though I've been eating relatively clean, I've been eating starches, I've been eating animal products. Remember, we said carbs are carbon, proteins and fats. The other two of the three macros are acids. When you mix an acid with like a starch, it creates a gluey sludge that sticks to you, and our body's not designed to eliminate that out. So people think that it's just time why they're getting old and sick and immobile and inflexible. And part of that is because they're not moving. And part of it for some people is they don't have the mental, emotional, spiritual thing out. They might be holding a grudge or holding on to grief, sadness, anger, regret, hatred, whatever, those bad feelings that hold you back. Let that go. Replace that with love and a reverence for yourself and others. Okay? But a lot of it, honestly, guys, and I think in our day and age, in our time, probably the most crucial thing that we can do is eat from those ancient wisdom diets and more modern wisdom too, that shows us how to eat in a way that doesn't lead you to accumulate that stuff. That's the reason why people age so quickly and prematurely. We should be living and thriving until we're past 100. Some people say 120, some people say 150. There's been accounts of people living to 256. Factually, like accounted accounts. And people say anecdotally that people live even longer than that. Okay? There's no reason for us to be suffering and aging. You know, when I did my 2 juice fasts, I eliminated so much mucoid plaque, even though I was eating relatively healthily. Did you wash your grape? Yes, dude, I thank you so much. Awesome question. These are organic grapes. So yes, I wash them. Even if they are organic, which you should try to. I mean, I found these at Aldi magically. They usually don't have organic grapes there, but I found them and I bought them. You should still wash them. Of course, of course, of course. And I even wash with baking soda from time to time and kind of like give it a scrub. You know what I mean? Some people wash with hydrogen peroxide, but if you're washing with any sort of vinegar is another one. If you're washing with any sort of agent to help scrub them, make sure that you rinse them off again, but it kind of introduces another layer because if you're rinsing with tap water, the tap water itself is toxic and poison. So that's what I mean, guys. We're getting hit and we're getting barraged from all angles. So we really need to arm ourselves with knowledge and with wisdom, and then transmuting that into actions, into habits, into practical applications of the knowledge, and that's when it actually becomes wisdom. You know, knowledge, like the feeling, and then the doing. Okay? Know, feel, do, and that creates that combined with the you know, the consciousness of the all coming through us and divinely guiding us. That's when a human being can start to be wise. Okay, and move through the world in a wise way. All right? And see those little crevices and pitfalls. You know, whether it's the keto diet or whether it's the starvation diet or the Atkins, or, you know, I hate to say, even something that I believe in can, you know, like such as fasting. It can be harmful to a person if they just jump right into it without kind of knowing the consequences and preparing for that. You know, if somebody was 50, they've been eating garbage their whole life, where I've been eating clean for the bulk of my life, and I still had so much mucoid plaque come out. What if somebody was eating garbage and they had 50 years old and they had 50 pounds, and this is not out of the ordinary, by the way. They had 50 pounds of gunk in their bowels, all wanting to come out at the same time during a fast, but it gets stuck. This has happened. People have died from that. People have had a prolapse rectum from that, which I'm not sure if that's the same as hemorrhoids, but it's where your rectum becomes out of your body. And then you have to poo in a bag for a long time, perhaps the rest of your life. So maybe we should have cleaned things up and maybe done some colonics or enemas first, and maybe even taken some enzymes or something to help break that stuff down, so it's not just this hard mass of this old gunk from, you know, 1999 wanting to all come out at the same time, guys. But once you get that stuff out, and I urge you to do that, just do it in a safe fashion. Then you'll do it again and again and again throughout your life. You'll kind of learn each time, and it's like a molting. It's like a snake shedding its skin, or I have a pet tarantula. When the tarantula molts, it's wild to see that. And then they're born again, and even their personality can change, and, you know, their demeanor can change. They seem more of a sentient being every time that they molt and become more mature. So, you know, that's me. I learned the hard way last time. I was going too hardcore on the nuts. And what did I just say? I was trying to go too hardcore on the protein. I'm over all of it. I was still trying to be the old me. I was still trying to be the Jim Blake. One of y'all asked if I was, how much I deadlift or whatever. It's kind of funny you asked that, because that was like my main lift. I know I'm always going to be good at deadlift. I know I could go in after not deadlifting for 2 years and still get 315. Okay? But it's not a full range of motion movement. It puts a lot of strain and stress on the body. A lot of those lifts do. CrossFitters and all that other stuff, martial arts. I'm going to still dabble and I'm going to do my thing, but I'm going to do like body weight stuff with full range of motions, full range of motions push-ups, full range of motion pull-ups, full range of motion squat, going all the way down ATG, ass to grass. Okay? Doing yoga stuff like side planks, downward dog, normal planks, forearm planks, all that body weight stuff that actually got me in the best shape of my life. And I thought back then that it was just like kind of a combination of everything mixed with cardio. And it's doable with that route, but it's so taxing on the body because you're creating more what? Acid. We want to be alkaline. And guess what? You want to stay alkaline? Eat more carbon, aka carbohydrates, aka fruit sugars found in these fruits. That is quite good. All right. But maybe you would expect somebody who hasn't eaten something in 42 days to be like more like impressed. Trust me, I'm always this impressed, but trust me, it tastes good, but when you do something like this, you beat your addiction to food. And that's why I'm not like rolling on the ground like, oh, I'm in ecstasy. Okay? We have a deep-rooted addiction to food, and it's what's killing us so fast. So I hope that just like observing me and, being here to watch my journey has inspired you to just start eliminating some of the junk out of your diet. Eat more fresh fruits and vegetables. Eat less fat overall if you can. All the processed stuff, all the fried stuff, just stop with that. And then maybe consider getting a juicer and maybe consider doing a little juice fast. Okay? Just start cleaning out your body. See how you feel. I promise you, you're going to feel amazing. And it's going to be inspiring, and it's going to inspire you to keep going, especially when you lose weight so easily. All right? So that's my 2 cents. I just wanted to capture this on the live. Breaking my 6-week juice fast with some grapes. I'm going to probably eat a good chunk of those, but, take it somewhat easy for these next couple days. And I can't wait till I have like maybe some guac and maybe a salad. So maybe tomorrow I'll do that. But I hope you guys have a beautiful Tuesday. I love you guys so much. And until next time, I will talk soon. Peace. Much love.